New Old Spice Antiperspirant Spray for ridiculously long-lasting freshness.
Red, and welcome back to CT Time. So today, as you can see, we do have some people joining us virtually. Please introduce yourself. I want to hear you say it one more time.
What's up, you guys? It's Otaku Senpai, aka Taylor. If that's much easier for you guys to call me, you can call me Taylor.
It's gotta be Senpai. It's Senpai, okay?
Probably, yeah, most likely just call you Senpai.
What do you do? And what interests you in sub versus dub, at least?
What interests me in sub versus dub? All right, so as I kind of told you guys earlier, I did grow up watching dub. I made my switch over to sub when it came to Naruto, and I never went back. It seemed like the differences were just so astronomical. Maybe to me because I'm a foreigner who, already can't understand Japanese as much.
Just quick background, where are you from and what age did you start watching sub?
I am from Charleston, South Carolina originally. I am 29 years old, and I want to say I started watching anime anywhere in between the ages of 8 and 9. Of course, my startup was Pokemon.
OG, millennial.
Yeah, there's a millennial one. Actually, I would say the.
Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Oh, yeah, I should introduce myself for giving out opinions. Name's Nikki. I am currently starting up streaming within the next couple of months, but
where will you be streaming at?
I'm gonna be streaming on Twitch.
Awesome.
Nikki Cakers / Twitch. Just find me within the next month-ish or two. Yeah, same story as Otaku Senpai. I kind of grew up watching anime and everything. I grew up because I had siblings who watched anime, and so I didn't have a choice. Had to sit there and watch Yu Yu Hakusho and Dragon Ball Z, and I'm like, what the fuck? What is going on in all of this? But we always watched in the dub because it was the only outlet that we had. And as time went on, I don't know. I would personally feel like I still get the same feeling when it comes to some dubs. And some subs do have more feeling when it comes to the storytelling and everything.
Just to get you all warmed up. Everybody, if you haven't noticed by now, my producer is a really big nerd. And he considers himself a small-time
otaku.
Otaku! Oh my gosh, you guys are gonna kill me with the Japanese names. I'm gonna just start spelling stuff. Otaku. All I know is that he's probably more weird than me, and he was actually hoping to one day actually have this discussion on the show as long as the conditions were met. And hopefully the conditions are met today. I did, we both brought in well-knowledge people, so hopefully this just turns into a thumb war and I get to watch. But, first question, sub versus dub. Nikki, which one do you think it has more advantages?
Speaking as a American speaker who lives in America, dub, mainly because of the fact of we have anime conventions here to the point where we'll actually be able to invite the people who bring life over the dubs in America and everything. I remember going to an anime convention and I got to meet Ochako's voice actor, English voice actor. And to be able to actually see the person who brought life into this character other than the Japanese version. Because I can't feasibly go over to Japan and be like, oh, I would love to meet this voice actor, because they have their own societal standards and how you approach them and everything. And it's just and to be able to have a Western community of voice actors.
Was his voice actor Japanese? Or was he like a American dude?
Oh, you mean Fro Ochako? The character is from My Hero Academia, and she was American. Like majority of voice actors for dubs are American. Um, Even though some people will have like issues with that as well, that's a whole different topic.
Senpai, which one do you think has the most advantages? Sub or dub?
Obviously subs, because I have been watching subs for quite a while now, long enough to where I could say I wouldn't necessarily go back to English dub. The only reason why I say that is because there's so much emotions tied to the characters themselves. You know, sometimes I could be watching a dub and forget to turn my subtitles off, and I'm reading something completely different than what they're saying as far as English goes. So, able to watch a sub and know that you're getting those genuine feelings that obviously the Japanese creators wanted to convey. I mean, they do definitely try and stick to that in dub, but it sounds the same to me now, so I try and just stick.
This is a
Stuff that
very
can't even
fine
laugh.
line, thin ice type of argument. You guys know I'm very opinionated, and me personally, I just feel like this argument is just kind of. But it's crazy that it has the whole world in such a chokehold, the sub versus dub. But me personally, I feel like sub would have more advantages because you get to literally real time compare both dialogue and feeling. Because if you watch full blown dub, then you're like literally only getting the one sidedness of the like they're reacting. They're reacting with all the energy, but the American voice actors they don't really convey that. Like, are they even fans or are they just voices? Because I feel like if they were actually fans, that they would be in there like, oh my god, like doing all the stuff, like making us really feel it because they feel it. And they're not just reading.
Well, I would say in some shows, a lot of shows, they really will just hire people and just like, here's a script, do whatever, and just read the lines. Just read the lines. Don't act your lines. Though there are some golden gems within dub that I feel like you shouldn't even watch the anime and sub because it wasn't supposed to be in Japanese. It was supposed to be read in English. Penny is Stalking with Garter Bell is a really good example because of not let alone the raunchy comedy that goes with it. The animation style literally looks like something from Cartoon Network. It looks like Powerpuff Girls mashed with Invader Zim, and it's beautiful.
So I need to watch this.
Yes,
what's the name of it again?
PT is Stalking with Garter Bell. Can I please say the plot of this story?
Yes, please.
So the story is basically two fallen angels who are whores, by the way, come down to Earth. Come down to Earth and vanquish ghosts and demons so they can go back up to heaven and shit.
Ghostbuster skanks?
Kind of, basically. They have a black priest who watches over them. He's voiced by All Might. Like, that's another thing that comes with dubs.
I love All Might. Like, even all his actors and everything, they're like fine, y'all. Like,
that's another thing when it comes to voice acting. If you really, really care about the voice actors in America, you're able to be like, oh my god, you voiced All Might and Garabelle and Zuko, not fucking Zoro and fucking Piccolo. Holy shit! Like,
All Might is Piccolo too?
yes.
Energy, y'all.
Like, that's a point for me.
Okay. Next question. Now, to understand what's going on, we're talking about mainly the modifications of media so that the audience is unaware of the creator's particular culture, can still understand the media being provided to them. This is not a kink talk, nor is it a talk about subscriptions, double entendre, or drugs. So, for all of you that were thinking dirty, I just need to get you guys to get your head out the gutter. So, now let's talk about all of that next time. But to define what we mean when we say sub versus dub, we are saying that basically subtitles on a particular show to help us understand more clearly what is going on, or a sub for short, and dub in connotation being specifically described as a modification of the media to more so appeal to the portrayed audience. Dub isn't actually short for anything. It's actually the official Webster word. I said that to somebody at work. Remember when I was asking you, are you going to come on? We're talking about sub versus dub. And Skyland was like dominatrix? No! No! No. I don't know how many times when I was trying to bring up sub versus dub to get some cool people on here that they thought I was talking about other stuff. But yes,
It's wild.
you guys, we are talking about
Anime was the first thing that came to my mind when he said for sub versus dub. Like, anime?
What is that insane?
Does that happen to you guys? Anime was the first thing that came to your mind? Something.
We're talking.
But what do you believe are the disadvantages to watching foreign media the way that you do, Senpai?
Well, honestly, there are definitely disadvantages. You know, sometimes I do get tired of reading subtitles and wish I could just watch anime raw and understand everything that's going on without having to constantly, up, down, up, down, up, down, and not miss anything.
Unfortunately, that's how I enjoy all TV. I'm one of those subtitles people. It's in English and I'm reading it, Because, man, I like subtitles. So sub doesn't really bother me. So I get to watch everything. And as far as Kung Fu movies, that's where it really hit home for me. Because I grew up watching pimp movies and Kung Fu movies. And in Kung Fu movies, you need those subtitles because the voice actors, in a Kung Fu movie, their mouth is moving super fast. They're doing all this stuff, and then the American voice actor is like, "Hey, you stole my sake." What? He said something else, but bro, you just simplified it to just nothing. So it's bro, I'm really not getting the full extent of what was actually produced. This was so amazing that it made it across the ocean to America. They got all new actors, and this is what you did. So that cuts deep. What are some disadvantages you think are to watching dub?
The fact that we live in America and America will always do propaganda to, promote itself. So you always have to keep in mind, are these altercations within the script? Oh, thank you. Are these altercations within the script actually a part of the story, or is this a part of whatever this company is trying to push? Because sometimes that happens a lot. There was I can't remember. Oh no, I can't remember. It was my childhood. All the four kids. All the four kids had this weird issue with just messing with the translation so badly. But it's the fact of you got the script, the plot, the whole plot line and everything, the storyline of this show. So you knew it wasn't for children. And you decided to tamper it so much to the point where you changed the story. That happens a lot. That happens a lot still with some anime to this day that show on
but that
Disney.
also goes back to the age of consent in different countries. So something may be acceptable, just like overseas, racism wasn't really a big thing. So they had a lot more, their blackface lasted a lot longer than ours. Let's say that. And we're going to acknowledge it. But they had a lot more black characters in their media and stuff because they really just considered us fascinating, So they had a lot more of that. And then they would come to America and then whitewash it and take out lesbian characters, increase the age of certain characters because in the originals they're 10 doing crazy stuff. So it being translated over here and you're I was saying, something being so big that it would make it across the ocean. And then they're dang, do we want to show the kids girls kissing? So it's dang, do we just pull these pages out the book or alter the whole thing so that when they kiss, it's just cousins kissing?
different situations when it comes. It's like weird when you like see something that's been altered because sometimes you can get a good altercation. Like there's two. There's ghost stories and a fan one that people probably know about. Dragon Ball Z Abridged. It's a fan one, of course, but they have talented voice like people who do
Have
really
you seen
good
Dragon
voice
Ball Z
acting.
Bridge?
I hate it.
My producer hates it.
Now, see, back when we had
For
to
the-
watch everything on YouTube, it was hilarious. Like, just, these characters sound like the characters.
They
that
act like the
no
characters in a
love.
funny tone.
Like,
I'm just
Wait,
saying
is
for
that
the
the
record.
live action?
No, so Dragon Ball
Because
Z
I hated
Abridged.
that.
Dragon Ball Z Abridged is basically they get to the point, but they do it really funny. The issue is why I don't like it is when I'm arguing with somebody about anything Dragon Ball Z related, because that's my favorite anime, they will literally reference a bridge.
That is an issue, and I apologize for all of the Dragon Ball Z Abridged fans. Because real talk, no offense to Dragon Ball Z, it has a better plot, and it does have better emotional points. Sorry. They rewrote it.
Okay, how does it have better emotional points? Just break that down.
So, like,
Have you seen Dragon Ball Z Abridged as well, Senpai?
I haven't seen Dragon Ball Z Abridged. Back then, like I said, when you were on YouTube and had nothing else to do with your time and you happened to, like, at least scroll past that, you couldn't help but get curious and wonder, what is that even about? And then when you watch it, you're like, wow, this is what they're doing with these characters. Like, but it was funny. It was a nice way to break away from all the seriousness that is Dragon Ball Z.
and the fact that, like, they eventually
Is
tried
Dragon Ball
to bring...
Z serious?
Yes and no.
So how can it get less serious? I'm just trying to figure that out because it's not like he got a job
You just-
while he was like in between fights or anything.
He had to learn how to drive.
Yeah, he had to learn how to drive. He had to.
He was flying spaceships before then, though.
It was automatic. Hey, just get
Oh
inside
yeah,
the spaceship.
it was an
Go fly
automatic.
itself.
Okay.
He had to get his license for one episode because Chi-Chi said so. Him and Piccolo.
Piccolo taught him how to drive.
So, quick question: do any of you guys listen to music outside your native languages?
Yes.
What type of music? Don't say K-pop. Don't say K-pop.
J-pop. Or J-rock.
What is the difference in the letters? But okay. The J and the K and the Y.
Japanese and the Japanese is J and K-pop is Korean.
I'm sorry, y'all. It came off as racist. I didn't know. I'm just like, it's pop from y'all.
It's the same pop kind of. Well, the thing is,
Well, is it an N K-pop and an S K-pop?
well, I honestly feel like K-pop and J-pop are honestly a little bit different. K-pop really.
You guys
blends
are you
in.
guys getting where I'm coming from? Is South Korea allowed to produce music and put it out?
Oh, you mean North Korea? No.
One of them is in jail. Which one?
One has a prison warrant.
A social media warrant or something. Oh, I'm sorry, Korea as a whole. But it's the North.
It's the South.
The South.
So I had it right? Okay, South can't do stuff.
No, South makes the music. North does not make the music.
Okay, so the North can't make music. That's what I was asking, and obviously you guys can't. I'm sorry. But if you guys can even watch this.
Did they get stuff snuck over there to try to show them that, like, they're in a,
I hope somebody sneaks our podcast there.
It's over there, so we can show them the difference between subs and dubs and the benefits of
And
both.
if any of you guys out there have any opinions about sub or dub or wants to, correct us if we say anything wrong, feel free to call the number. I know it's popped up a couple times. You guys can stream us on Twitch, Anchor, YouTube, Spotify, another T,
Other podcasting platforms and such.
and other podcasting platforms. Alrighty, and Senpai, the same question that I asked her. Do you listen to any music outside your native language? Well, outside of your native language.
I do. I mostly, if it's not an anime playlist, it's normally K-pop because I just want the feel of that music. Like, I mean, it changed my life
I like
because
Korean rappers. That's about it.
They rap like 21 Savage.
I know.
That's why you like it.
people feel
But
things differently up there.
the Asian Oriental rappers, like they're super lit to me. Like he was saying, they rap like 21 Savage, but like man, they just get on the they get on the beat. They so
Wait a minute,
raw.
21 Savage, not American. Isn't
He's
he
British. Yeah.
He is British.
They rap like foreigners. It's a different feel to it. That's just non-American.
So when you guys listen to the music, do you listen with the translation or do you just like, repeat their sounds? Like how do you do that?
Actually, I'll let Senpai go first.
It's either or for me. Sometimes I can just be so in the moment. I don't know the words. I don't know what I'm saying, but I'm gonna pretend like I do. And then other times
Do you care about the translation?
There will be times where I'll listen to a song and I'll be like, I need to know what they're saying because it sounds like it's much deeper than what it is. Because with a lot of songs that I've listened to, you'll think it's so happy and upbeat, and then come to find out it's actually terribly depressing.
Yeah, right.
Bro, this is like a good 40% of anime songs like that.
Yeah,
It's just
really
upbeat.
depressing, super upbeat, depressing stuff.
Like, I feel like Madoka Magica's opening is very sad. If you listen to the lyrics, like, da 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 da, whoa, it's just not correlating. But yeah, I honestly, yeah, I feel the same way. Like, with a song really like has a bumping ass, like, okay, I would say if the opening animation is really really well, I'll could be like, okay, I need to know like why this animation is being made for this song. I want to see what the lyrics are for because this is basically the music video for the song.
Right.
So I might as well figure out what the fuck they're saying.
And as far as music being translated, a fact about why the music industry is also so terrible now is because people want their music to be universal these days. So they tell rappers and artists to use easier words and stuff like that so that when they translate it and they send it over to Japan or Israel, it doesn't just sound like in a weird language. The same way another language will sound to us when they're saying it too fast. So they try to use more basic, easier to translate words in our raps so that when it goes to them, they can just translate it and they can actually rap it at a normal pace too with their voice actors. So, Japan, if y'all don't mind doing that as well, we would greatly appreciate it. Okay.
Like, try to make our stuff translate well enough, or like try to put some. I wouldn't mind like listening to a song that had like a weird beat, but the lyrics were like really actually have meaning behind it.
Is that rare? So, foreign music or tracks with spoken or sung lyrics has the highest language barrier as compared to most forms of multimedia. There are no true way to understand what is actually being said unless you had a trusted translator to talk to the or you talk to the music writer yourself. Reasons are because writing lyrics is like writing a story, whereas the metaphors are the main plot points. And sometimes speaking in broken words and phrases lays multiple meanings into the sentence being spoken. And it's hard enough to listen to a rap song in your own language, but when it becomes like 5 times harder listening to a language that you're trying to understand right then and there. So say there is a movie in a different language, unfamiliar to you that released and someone wants to show it to you. Luckily, there are still subtitles. Do you think that you can tell how good the voice acting is and still somehow determine whether or not the translation is decent with the subtitles? So basically, like I was saying earlier, as far as actually watching the show, you see the actors doing like movements, reacting, like actual acting, but comparing that to the subtitles and just trying to fact check the subtitles based on how they're acting. Do you think that I think we all kind of do that,
Mm, well, personally, it all comes down to quality because some dubs or like some subtitles actually like do a good job. Like some translators actually do a good job if they actually care about the product or they care about the
That
movie.
part.
But most of the times it's very sad that like majority of Hollywood or just like the industry doesn't care about like foreign films. That's the real like gist of it. They don't
Nitty-gritty.
care. Yeah, they real nitty gritty. They don't care about like foreign films and everything. So they would rather just get a translator than hire so many different voice actors to like do this. So it really just depends on like the what they want to do.
Senpai, speaking of caring about foreign films, how do you feel about the tidal wave of anime fans in the last couple years? Of course, it is good for the industry because we'll get more merch, we'll get more English sub dubs, people care more about dubs, but
That is
the
true.
pretenders. Let's talk about
There's a
it.
downside with the fans, and we've seen it even among those who have been a part of the community for a long time, trying to gatekeep the newcomers because, you know, when you're new to anime, there's a lot of stuff you have to open your eyes to, and there's a lot of things that you don't think you're ready for, you didn't expect to be ready for,
But
but
you
then
better be
boom, you're
ready
hitting the
for it.
face
Came
with
for the titties,
all-
stayed for the storyline.
Or vice versa. I came for some story and I'm seeing titties.
So now suddenly you have an influx of newcomers who are like, you know, what is anime? What is the point of it? You know, it's just nothing but a bunch of perverts or nothing but a bunch of fan service. And it's like there's a lot more to anime than just seeing titties and ass all the time, or just, you know, getting a laugh in. You know, there are stories, there are plot lines, there are things that, you know, do change your morals about how you feel with real life and as far as
Hey,
anime.
I watched Naruto growing up, but after I had my kid, like I watched it from the beginning. I cried like a lot. It was just like a lot happening. Like I was just so into it. Like just watching it as an adult. The same for Pokemon. Rewatching Pokemon as an adult feminist activist who cares about the planet. I was just so outraged, and Ash should just be killed. Ash should be killed immediately.
Here's the thing, sub Pokemon is the only better Pokemon. If you watch dub Pokemon, he's gonna hand you rice balls and say you want a donut. What did you say?
I need that's on the goal
There's
list.
nothing
I'm
like
gonna
better than a
watch
jelly filled
sub-
donut.
These delicious hot dogs.
Now I
What?
look at Ash with his comebacks back in early dubbed Pokemon. His comebacks were everything.
Sassy ass kid.
Movie Ash is way better. He has superpowers.
Oh man.
Y'all gotta watch the movies. I cry in every one of the movies now.
I do remember crying at the first Pokemon movie because they killed him. They killed a 10-year-old child.
They tried to say, oh, no, never mind, psych, we're just kidding.
And then they had Pokemon revive them. That's some real sad shit.
Okay, so you're Team Dub, right?
Yes.
So, okay, let's say you were preparing to see a movie and you thought it was gonna be dubbed, and you come in ready to like watch a dub movie and it's subbed. How do you feel? Do you go get a refund?
Alright, so let me tell you about the time I literally just watched Jujutsu Kaisen, the movie. This literally just happened to me. I sat down and watched it because it's anime, and I don't get to see anime in movies much. That's where it really comes down to. I am the type of fan that does want to support the industry
Yeah, like
to
just
the very
support
end.
it. Because
So,
next
like-
time it's gonna be what you wanted.
Yeah, like it's just gonna probably be a whole bunch of dubs to the point where like, hey, we can't watch this a sub anymore. Oh, you can buy it on DVD and sub. I would like to get to that point in media when it comes to anime.
This is the question for both of you guys. Have either one of you ever played international or, you know, a foreign video game?
Oh yeah.
Have you? Foreign games?
Oh, I don't
This from
believe I
Sony count?
have.
Just kidding, just kidding.
So okay, does so when you mean by foreign games, do you mean by release only in Japan and we were only able to get it in Japan, or are we talking about it's a Japanese-made game, but they have a American like partner and there are like American division, and they can release it over there too. Because I would say Persona 5.
The latter.
Okay, Persona 5, yes.
Persona 5. What's that about?
All right.
Big monsters.
Yeah. There's a dick monster. There's a dick demon in it. He gets to be your persona. So
I live with one of those.
Just kidding. Long story short, you are a Japanese schoolboy who is on probation.
And I'm a schoolboy running away from dick monsters.
You on probation too, bro. You spend it one more time, going back to jail.
How do I find this game?
You got PlayStation. It's only on PlayStation.
PlayStation Network.
It's on the Switch.
Bro, my person is gonna be pissed if he comes home and I'm
Persona
playing
5? Not Strikers 5.
Persona 5 and Persona 5 Royal.
I gotta bring my Switch over here so you can do that. I want to play Persona again. But yeah, it's a very long game. You will drain about 70 hours of your life into it if you decide to play it.
So do you feel that you have played most of the foreign video games in that way that it was intended to be played? Like the original language, all that following through is okay. So is your video game subbed or dubbed?
It's up. I'm not reading that. Here. I need people to really understand something. If I am playing the game to read it, I would just play a pure RPG game. And even then, I am literally just reading a book.
I was about to say you're just reading a game.
I really
You might as well play Dungeons and Dragons. You're gonna read a game.
You might as well, if you want to do anything related to education, alright, let's do some math. Let's play Dungeons and Dragons. Fucking hell. Also Blaze Blues, if anybody has ever like heard that game or played that game. That's basically a light novel and a fighting game in one. So
what do you think you're missing in the international release versus the release of it just strictly in the original language? Do you feel like you're missing anything as far as context of the game at all?
no. When it comes to video games and recent video games, like ever since
recent stuff is a lot better.
2010, like 2010, they've been making sure translations are like accurate when it comes to video games crossing over, because they know gamers are like the pickiest like demographic to please. It is one of the reasons why I am honestly a bit afraid to ever go into the video game industry if I go back into the drawing and shit.
So you may know this already, but one fact about the international video games is that they are deep in the dubbing process that comes before the games are released in other countries. And I'm not just talking about the language barriers. The games created in other countries have to follow a particular law created in order for other countries to properly release the game without it getting banned, trashed, or otherwise. This can include censorship, like you were saying. They just changed the whole thing because the plot leads to stuff that isn't supported in that said country. Censorship, content removal, and content adding. The most obvious thing today is mainly the censorship, as in the PS5 in certain countries was supposed to not only not allow nudity at all on any game whatsoever, and the Nintendo of America also had a 10 commandment rule when it came to releasing games on the West once upon a time. And let's just say that the Grand Theft Auto San Andreas is no better than your Dick Monster game.
Yeah.
The prostitutes on San Andreas, don't they walk around hitting people with dildos?
That's not the issue with
That's
San
not-
Andreas.
That's the issue.
There used to be a mini game. Grand Theft Auto series is made in England, so like there's different rules in England as compared to the U.S.
Why are they just making games about how the ghetto is out here? That's real. That would be cool with somebody from LA making games about San Andreas and the fucking alleys I have to walk through to get home.
Well, so when they made San Andreas, they wanted to make the game like the most black parody movie type game ever.
It's a black parody?
Yeah.
That's even what? I was offended immediately.
So the Grand Theft
But
Auto,
go ahead.
the Grand Theft Auto series is literally a parody of like your favorite movie genre series, and San Andreas is like hood movie genre series. But when you watch a hood movie, there's always a sex scene. They made a mini game called Hot Coffee, where like you are basically doing these sexual actions with your girlfriend, not the prostitute, but your girlfriend. They removed it for the international release and just for releases in general because that would have made the game rated A. Like you heard about it in a few news. It's like, oh snap! Like there's full nudity in video games. We should just ban gaming all in general.
Like they wanted to ban comic books. They didn't even sit down. They didn't even sit down.
Yeah,
But there's all types of stuff in San Andreas. And I remember like the Grand Theft Auto after San Andreas, you were able to go and cure a prostitute and go to the strip club and like I said, bitches they would pull out their
I mean, you can still go to a strip club like Grand Theft Auto 5 right now. You can get a whole lap dance in first person view with a fully topless woman. But an actual mini game where you're committing sexual actions, that will up the game's rating as compared to just seeing a random, we'll say, 30-second nude scene, even if the girl or guy is fully naked. Like, because in a radar movie, you can see a guy fully frontal naked, you can see a woman fully frontal naked for whatever artistic reason. But, actually showing the full action is not rated R. That's, rated X, all that stuff.
Holy shit, that just reminded me of another like whole sub versus dove situation when it came to like a very much rated R show. Do you know either one, Otaku Senpai or producer sir? It's producer Senpai. You guys heard of the show called Interspecies Reviewers?
I love that show.
Fucking love that show as well. And guess what? Funimation's bitch ass has decided to do, even though, once again, you get the script, you get the storyline and everything. Oh, we're just gonna dub the first episode. We didn't know it was gonna actually show full-on sex scenes in this anime. Anyway.
It actually doesn't. That's why I like the show. The euphemisms in the, we'll say, fornication scenes are very artistic. Like, there's one episode where the angel, who is a hermaphrodite, is getting drained. That's the best way I can explain it. He is getting drained. They show it to where he's like a ketchup bottle. And, like, the succubus is like slurping all the ketchup from the ketchup bottle.
Y'all making me blush. Y'all stop it. Y'all stop.
Watch that show. That's another good show as well.
Good show.
Because
I'm trying to be a ketchup bottle. Got the what?
It's a good show. I'm not gonna say like kids watch the show because, like you said, there is like full nudity on there. There is even sometimes.
So my person thinks that he can just watch any type of random ass, disgusting ass anime because it's in a cartoon format.
No, you are still...
Bro, this is adult television.
Yeah,
like it's not Family Guy. Even that really even shouldn't be. But
yeah, there are a bunch of rated R animes. There are a bunch of rated M animes, or sorry, mature animes. Like she said, Interspecies Reviewers, there's a really big, like, I could say outrage happening with a show called Redo of Healer.
Judge all of her reactions, y'all. I'm writing them down. That's what this is for. Okay.
Look, I said there's an outrage. Like, look, it deserves an outrage.
It does. I stopped after like what is episode 7
What
or 8.
happened?
Basically,
I have the personal rule of I have to watch it all or did it happen? Like I have to see it through.
I'm the same way.
It's really hard to digest a lot.
It
like,
was.
It's like, what?
You like to talk about it, Otaku Senpai?
The thing about Redo of Healer, like, of course, anime has done a fantastic job of pushing the envelope in many, many ways. But the thing about Redo of Healer is, like, they took a guy's abuse and basically was, like, showing you how this guy plot, like, scheme for scheme, plot for plot, plan to, get back on top in the most obscene ways, like, and you wanted to root for him, but at the same time, it was like,
It's some real inhumane shit he's doing.
He's on some other levels.
He was like doing some real inhumane shit to these people, and I get it. They did some inhumane shit to you.
So, before we close out, can I get some unpopular opinions? Do you guys have any shows that might not be considered anime, but you feel like they should be anime or in the anime category?
Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yes.
You think Avatar should be considered an anime?
Avatar should be in the anime house. Yes. Like,
I feel like Mr. Pickles.
Like, even if you watch like, things like Pokemon or Digimon or Yu-Gi-Oh! Back then, that you could tell that was anime, and with Avatar, you kind of knew something was different, but it still gave you that same like, this has got to be, if it's got to be anything, it's got to be an anime. Like,
it gave you the feel of like during that time you couldn't believe an American team made this. Like real talk, because around that time they were making shit like.
So just to be clear, what you all consider anime is just stuff made from Japanese, Korean people that are cartoons?
No, I consider Ruby internet show as anime. It is trash anime, but I still love it. I want to see more of this.
So because there are Japanese subs of SpongeBob, is that now considered anime?
Well, there is a SpongeBob anime out on YouTube.
Bro, that shit lit.
It's like,
He
I
looks
would honestly
kind
watch
of.
that if they really made it into anime.
yeah.
But I would say no, it's still an Americanized cartoon. It's just that there are viewers in Japan who would like to explore what SpongeBob is and what that's like.
So are there any animes that you would consider just cartoons?
Animes that Shin Chan, it would be one of them.
Yeah.
There's another one.
Honestly,
I would say Penny. I would categorize Penny and Stocking with Garabelle as a cartoon. I really would, be based on like the animation style itself. There's another one that's like on the top of my head. I can't.
Hamtaro for me.
It's a cartoon. Honestly. Yeah. Because real talk, even after being told it was made in Japan, no, that's a cartoon.
cartoon, I see that with Anna and Debbie and Dexter's Laboratory. What do you mean?
Yeah, so teenager. This is a weird one. Sonic X.
Sonic X is different.
So he's like in limbo. That is limbo movie.
But Kirby is definitely anime.
And in limbo too. Mainly because
No, Kirby is full blown anime, I feel.
It's
Well, he's not
full-blown
full
anime.
blown, but he's more anime than
It's full blown
Sonic.
anime. You don't get all the episodes in English.
Is that what it is? Because
Yeah.
Kirby definitely gives. Because I was a Kirby
all the
person.
episodes in Sonic.
Yeah,
Holy
and you're
fuck.
missing like 2 episodes from Sonic, but you're missing a whole season.
I
from
think the
Kirby.
movies
Yeah,
ruined the
Kirby.
Sonic legacy.
Huh?
I feel like the movies, like the action movies with Jim Carrey, are like ruining the Sonic legacy.
Oh no,
That's
that's a
based off the first 2 games.
yeah. Honestly, I love how they're doing it right now. As a deep-hearted Sonic fan
did I
too.
say? Yeah, Jim Carrey.
Yeah, Jim Carrey's Eggman can get it in general. If he was young, he's
Jim Carrey's Eggman can get it.
supposed to be a suave ass, crazy ass scientist, and I love that.
I mean, they didn't make him like bald, like and fat, like the Eggman.
Yeah.
So like, Eggman is
You got about
active. You got something. But
I don't know about that. No. But I'm about to wrap it up, you guys. So while a group of people understand that subbing and dubbing of multimedia draws a line between fans, it inherently shouldn't be the case. Well, it looks like we're out of time. Thank you guys for tuning in to CT Time. Remember to follow us at CT Time on all your Spotify, everything down there. Everything down there. Just go ahead and follow us. And once again, my name is Aziza Red. I want to thank the beautiful Senpai and the charismatic Nikki for joining me today. If you guys have any final words, you have like 2 seconds.
Anime is awesome. Watch it however you want it, and like just don't gatekeep. Don't be weird.
Follow her on Twitch very soon. You're gonna want to hear her opinion. She has a lot of
I just
You know, just a Papa Senpai on TikTok if you guys want to follow me. Yeah, that's